Welcome to another edition of Tell It How It Is, No Filter. This is Voice of Reason. Thanks for joining me. I'm glad you could be here. Happy holidays, happy holidays. All these last few episodes is around these holidays, man. The end of the year, 2026 is upon us. It's repetitive, but I want y'all to get hyped. I want y'all to get into the spirit of things, knowing that you have another shot at greatness every day. But now, a new year will definitely bring new energy in a positive way, I hope, for you. All right, let's go. Avoid desperate aggression unless you're 1,000% sure your timing is accurate, fellas. Do I have to create the setting for you? Let's create a setting for you, okay? Restaurant, lounge, event space. In general, you may be on the attack, right? You see a woman you like, a woman you find attractive, and you want to dive in. You have to read the room. Sometimes it's hard to read the room. It's only hard when people are being phony or not being themselves. So the good strategy, good advice you always hear is read the room, but you hope that room is accurately honest. But reading a room also means, I guess, detecting fake shit too. So these dynamics I can't help you with in this topic because you never really know. But I can just say, go with your gut. So if you're going to gun ho, you're going to go for broke, you better be sure, and your timing better be as accurate as it can. But then, if you don't have pride or ego, you'll just be doing this at will. Because, the older we get, those numbers matter. We're a little more selective or more humble. I hope that we're not just going on the attack for any and every pretty skirt. So you got to move strategic is the real message here. Is this move real militant, chess, not checkers, and, hopefully you don't look crazy, because that's what this can turn into. It can go way left if you're aggressive, you're too aggressive. If your timing is off, you could get in your feelings about that. And you got to kind of really read the room for real, because there's things you might want to, but you read the room or you feel a vibe and you go, I wanted to, but I'm going to fall back on that one, right? So that's really open and shut with that, because is where you apply it. Some women like that aggression and some don't, and we don't get the blueprint or the cheat code for real to know who's who. And it's your acquired taste, who you like, what you like. So now people could sit here and coach you through shit, but they can't really get you to the real answers based on how you are and who you like, because we're not going to know if those align or not, because who you like may never like aggression. And who you like consistently, if you have a pattern of the same type of people and none of them like aggression, how you are is not going to work. It gets complicated. It's not simple. It's not simple at all. People think, I got game. I'm good with the ladies. I know how to maneuver. You gotta constantly read the room and kind of alter yourself per se sometimes. Because, if you think you the man, and you could be, I'm not here to tear that down. You can't remain the same unless you mastered your selections. Like, how you are, and you found the way to choose the women that coincide with how you are. That shit ain't easy. That is some pimping skills. Not to say it in that type of way, but you know what I'm saying? Like, that takes some skill, because if you could stay the same way you is, and be successful in the numbers of women you date and deal with, that takes a skill. A lot of people find it challenging to remain true to themselves, not change up, and still are successful with women as well. with a large number, or just have a successful situation with said woman and can say, yo, this is dope. You know what I mean? So that's about it with that. Negroes go broke to impress a woman when you should have played broke to test that woman. I mean, it's sad that we got to be out here playing games. And, you know, you want to limit the game playing. Sorry, sometimes you have to test. But we want to limit how much energy and how long is spent on that test. So I agree with this statement because going back to the first thing, avoid desperate aggression. That can be one of those pillars, right? Like you going for broke can be aggressive. You know that you wasn't supposed to go out this weekend, but you went anyway because you like this young lady and you want to hang out with her. And then you go, and that's cool because when you on a budget and you want to go out with a lady, you can still make that happen, but just know your budget, you know, and really lock in on that. You know, you can still have a good time without it being costly. I don't know if that's the first date, second date, whatever. So now you go out, right? And you had this game plan to be budget friendly. And now, cause y'all might have had a sip or two, you starting to feel like you want to really get this ball rolling. So now you start to spend and impress to try to think the ball gonna get rolling. Excuse me. I'm not editing that. That takes a lot of perfection, right? To sit through all these segments and everything and never sneeze, cough, or have a reason to edit. You gonna hold that sneeze. Anyway, now you got energy to do these things and spend this bread you had no business spending because y'all are in the moment. You're having a good time and those drinks start to hit. Do you want to always say alcohol is a negative thing? That's an example, though, because I think if y'all went on a date that didn't involve drinking, you may still stay focused in what the original goal was, budget-wise. But you're supposed to be, you grown. You're supposed to be able to hold it down regardless. But is it more negligence or just more horniness? It's a combo of both. But yeah, keep it light. You know, just trying to impress women because that's the treatment you're going to get from her always. And this is said all across the world. I've said this probably mad times. So it's like, doesn't help. It's not coming out like the first time. But I'm just letting you know that it's you got to test sometimes. Short test, short game, if any. But you got to see what's good because it's so easy to say it ain't tricking if you got it. And, you know, you going somewhere you wanted to go. So if she accompanies you, she didn't dictate that. You wanted steak. So now she gets steak too. Not saying not to. I'm just saying, read the room. I'm off that. Wow, we running through. This is going to be a shorter one, folks. Y'all don't be really tapped in too long. Y'all only watch my shorts. Let me go on a rant real quick. Subscribe to the channel, Voice of Reason NF on YouTube. My Instagram and TikToks is Buzzahbeater, BUZZAHBEATER. Yo, when I put the shorts up, y'all love that. You know what I'm saying? I still need those numbers to be more. So I was humble. I'm still humble. As long as I reach somebody, this is dope for me. It's therapeutic for me. Hopefully it's helpful for you. So I'm with it all the way. But I do need these numbers to start going up. Come on, man. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Hit the notification bell, subscribe, share, comment, like. The shorts y'all pay attention to, but the full episodes, you really can't keep y'all attention span for that long. Can't do your boy that solid. I know, sound like I went off. Anyway, let's get back to it. Hope you receive that well. Women memory is A1 when it's time to remember something that hurts the man. This sounds direct and personal, which it probably is. But we're going to dissect this anyway. So don't underestimate the woman is the point. What the positive I could take out of here. Don't underestimate the woman and don't give her a reason. Sometimes you keep it tall all the way. You be honest all the way as you can throughout. And then you can avoid shit like this. But when you bullshit a little bit too much, you know you're testing that woman. Remember I said in the last one, test And the games, if any, should be short, and that's only in the beginning to determine the person you read in the room. You determine it. Once y'all get somewhere, once you know where you could go with her, that's where it cuts out. 1. 2, you won't be in this situation right here because shit get twisted and shit goes left so fast, right? And what you say and how you move, it's sad to say, I feel, and you don't give them a reason to. And women, I understand sometimes. So I feel like the negative is remembered more than the positive in a sense, because with the memory, if you did something or said something, when that spins back, when that topic spins back, the woman will remember the bad in that. You know, if all the good things, you know, you could buy her flowers every Friday for 5 years. But whatever argument come up, that won't be in there because that's not a negative thing. Negative things, I don't know why we retain that more. We'll remember some bad shit. Remember the time I lost $100? Do you remember the time you found $100? We could turn this around though, and it may not be for everybody. You may be disagreeing with me right now because you're in a better headspace and you're more positive than negative. That's how you find out about yourself. Is the cup half full or the cup half empty? But I do know that is a big factor, like in a relationship, and when things go left in that relationship, that the woman remembers the things she needs. She remember when you was doing fuck shit more, if she has to use that. You know what I mean? I don't think, you know, if you mess up with a woman, like if you really do them bad, that good stuff is out of the window. I don't think they negotiate and logically, soundly put together on the table what was good, what was bad, to try to even out and not despise you or resent you. I think that the negative takes over more, and they'll resent you more than being at that even feel. You know what I mean? So for a while anyway. You know, they could eventually get there, but it takes them a while. It's on their time, and for sure, it's nothing you could do, fellas. Them fuck ups and some fucked up shit you may say, it's true. You can't take it back. You can't take it back. You got to just hope again. And time tells. Time will tell. I'm telling you, I get in a short version today. Do grown folks still get hot and heavy and not fuck? Women control that. Fellas, it's a good discipline. I salute whoever could attest to this. You have to have self-control. Even more based off what I said, women control that. So you're chilling. What about, I always create scenarios for you guys. You're chilling with a young lady for the first time, second time, whatever time. Y'all haven't gone there yet. And now there's a slight opening for that. You know what get hot and heavy means, but it doesn't quite go all the way for whatever reasons. There's a list of reasons. Men, we lose it in these situations. If you can find a way to maintain self-control and understand that women control that activity, don't think you have anything to do with it. You got something to do with it as far as that you being in that setting. That's definitely on the guy. But for it to go down has nothing to do with you. So when you realize that and you're able to self-control yourself, no matter how much you want to, again, dive off the deep end, like we said in the first one, desperate aggression, it could get crazy for you. So when we ask, do this still happen? It absolutely happens. I don't feel it should happen. Grown adults is the key word here why I feel it shouldn't happen. Because if you're in a situation and that is upon you, y'all are in that setting and y'all have any type of juju for each other.
I'm about to misplace keys cause I'm a losing. You fuck with Diamond Boys or the ABL camp. Now I don't give a fuck what got baby boy in. Long as the ball rolling, the needle is moving. We the black version of Elvis Presley and Beatles music. I'm mad I hear pigeons, they can't believe that I'm that fly. Just a thought of me, that kitty half dry, which means it's still wet. A real threat, ballin' harder after the ring like Shay Childress. Like it's about that time we seeing real check. Damn, you can't take the hood out of us.
I gotta repeat so you could get me. But women control how that goes. The self-control is definitely necessary so you can handle however it plays out. Because she can change her mind at any moment and it can go from hot and heavy to ice cold. And you have to be able to maintain. This is just a smart way to think and be. I know that it may not make sense because why even be in that for it not to go all the way? That's why I said the grown adult part makes it a little tricky, because how did y'all even get into that to have that become a debate when we kind of already knew what happens? You know, so when fellas don't get mad when the situation presents it and the woman is avoiding it completely, she's kind of looking out for you. You got to be mature here in decision making, because I know sometimes we just want to go for the kill. I get it, but it's not always designed that way, and it's not always meant just because you could get it, or it may seem like it's a gift. Not all gifts are gift wrapped, if that makes sense. But it's still interesting because it'll still happen. But just fellas, you know, that self-control and that mental awareness that they control that. Do you know that? You can't overpower that control normally. I don't think you should even think on a mental capacity that you could. So I tried to remain mostly positive in that breakdown. But in reality, ladies, yes, avoid it completely. Don't even partake at all. Because if you get there and you getting hot and heavy, I ain't saying you might as well just let it go, but what you doing? Y'all making it difficult for each other. I don't, you know, if you want to say it feels good, you get something out of the fact of just the hot and heavy. Maybe it's been a while. Maybe to be wanted is a good feeling. I'm trying to make sense of it, but the grown adults, I can't stress enough. If grown adults get hot and heavy, they should be fucking. That's how I feel. If I want to be totally honest with you. But things can happen. Things cannot align. A vibe or energy can be off. You know, brain starts moving a mile a minute. We can joke and say women become Christians in those moments. But that's all I got for you with that, because shit happens. I won't say it don't. But yeah, that's the mental awareness to have, fellas, all right? So try to just be mindful of that and not take that no way, really. You know, if you could chuckle at it, it's fine. You know, there's next time. There's next time. I don't believe in the next time not happen. Like, so that's the only other thing before I leave you, to say that if y'all link again and it's hot and heavy again and it's not, like, what do we playing now? Now we playing. There's some stories out there that could explain this, maybe, I'm sure. I hope you haven't, you know, experience or not experience to say this reminds you of or similar to it, and it can make sense to you, fine. But I don't remember that. I mean, I don't remember that ever being cool. You know, I was in college and that kept happening with a young lady. And, you know, I kept setting myself up because college, what am I, like 20? You know how horny I was? But that's not justified. And that shit stuck with me for a while because that kept repeating. And it almost never got to the finish line. It never actually happened. So I say that to say I'm relating to you if you have those type of stories, fellas, which I wish less of you have that story. Or not being in the predicament at all when you know that it's not two consenting adults that really feel a way. Not saying it has to previously get discussed, but you know what I'm saying? So that's it on that. So till the next time, you know my 3 Ps, stay positive, stay pushing, and stay progressive. Peace.